Hi dear friends and friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. I'm sorry, it's a very late Cricket Happening show this on a Sunday because of my other commitments, personal commitments. But gives me great pleasure to once again welcome all my dear friends and subscribers back to this Cricket Happening show with a news which you already know. But well, let me just just mention that as India gave a whitewash to Australia, beating them 4-0, and the match finishing on the third day itself on a very difficult pitch, as I said. And not only that, India won the Border Gavaskar Trophy, and also this was the first time that India has beaten Australia 4-0 in India. So what a proud feeling that would have been for the Indian team. So that is one thing that I will be talking about. The Border Gavaskar Trophy is all over. Australians will be returning home now, since they are only going to play test matches, as you know. And then the other thing that I'll look at is today there was one more victory, one more trophy. This was the Momentum Trophy, which was lifted by South Africa in a match where they defeated Pakistan, which was it was a one was probably hoping to be a real cracker, but it didn't really turn out to be a real cracker of a match. But in the end, South Africans were the ones who played well and prevailed over Pakistan to win the Momentum Trophy and win the one-day series 3-2. And the other match that I'll look at is between New Zealand and England, where England were following Brendan McCullum, the New Zealand captain, did not enforce the follow-on, as has become the practice nowadays in international cricket. And what he did is that New Zealand decided to bat. In fact, England were all out for 204, with Trent Boult registering his first 5-wicket haul in Test cricket, bowling splendidly, taking 6 wickets in his bag. And so what I'm going to do right now is, and New Zealand were 35 for 3, so essentially with the lead that they had of 239 runs, they are 274 for 3 with the overall lead. Well, we will look at everything. First, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the Border Gavaskar Trophy, 4th Test, India versus Australia, and this was the third day. And in the third day, the match was all over. Well, it all started with India resuming on the overnight score with 4 runs in the lead. Well, it was pretty quick work, and Nathan Lyon was the one who went on and picked up the tail-enders wickets, and India were all out for 272. Right from the word go, one could see how the ball was turning, how the ball was behaving, and as I said, the result was a mere formality. In fact, 272 all-out India, just taking a 10-run lead, but Nathan Lyon returning figures of 23.2 overs, 4 maidens, 94 runs, and his first 7-wicket haul in Test cricket. Not only that, his best haul in Test cricket. Well, so as far as Australia were concerned, 10 runs was the lead that India had, a very thin lead of 10 runs. Well, for Australia, it all started with Australia adopting an approach whereby they decided not to send Ed Cowan along with Warner, but instead they opted to send Glenn Maxwell. Precisely the reason being that probably they were thinking that this particular pitch, it's better not to be playing from the crease, but to really go after the bowlers. Maxwell was sent in, but I would say they found it very difficult. In fact, Bhuvneshwar Kumar was given the new cherry. Ishan Sharma was not given the ball. Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowled, and as far as Australia were concerned, Australia first lost the wicket of David Warner. In fact, Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowled 2 overs, and then Ashwin was brought on at the other end. But Ravindra Jadeja, who actually went on to take his first 5-wicket haul in Test cricket, and his best haul, 16 overs, 2 maidens, 58 runs and 5 wickets. He got good support from Ashwin, 15.3 overs, 2 maidens, 55 runs and 2 wickets. 2 wickets to Pragyan Ojha, 11 overs, 2 maidens, 19 runs and 2 wickets. Ishan Sharma bowled 2 overs for 13 runs and a single wicket to his name. So the first to go was David Warner, who was LPW bowled Jadeja. So that was the break. In fact, Maxwell was the first to go, as Maxwell got a ball which went through his defences and disturbed the stumps, and Maxwell was gone for 8. David Warner was given a real send-off by Jadeja after trapping him LBW, and as I said, there was a lot of needle between Australia and India in this particular test match. Even on the third day we could see that with a lot of chirping going on. Well, but in fact Jadeja went after Warner and actually gave him a send-off. LBW bowled Jadeja for 8, and so that made the score 20 for 2. Ed Cowan was the only person who actually really adjusted himself. As I said, it's very difficult to bat on this pitch because the balls were reeling up, balls were bouncing, the ball was turning, there were a lot of things happening. And Ed Cowan, I would have to really give the credit to Ed Cowan for playing some very bold strokes. In fact, he decided to play his strokes, and Ed Cowan was doing it very well until this happened. When Ed Cowan was gone, he was LBW bowled Jadeja for 24 with 5 fours. Before that, Phil Hughes was a victim of Ashwin, as he was LBW bowled Ashwin for 6. Probably, I would say, a bit hard done by as far as Phil Hughes' decision was concerned. Probably the ball might have been missing the stumps, one does not know. Shane Watson, the captain, disappointed in the whole series, I would say. He was clean bowled by Pragyan Ojha for 5 with 1-4. He tried to pull a delivery, he missed it, it was clean bowled. After that, there was a brief little partnership between Stephen Smith, who contributed 18 with 1 boundary, and Matthew Wade, the wicket keeper, but it was only just, I would say, because Jadeja once again came in and clean bowled Stephen Smith for 18. Matthew Wade was caught behind the stumps by Dhoni of the bowling of Pragyan Ojha for 19. Mitchell Johnson was castled by Jadeja for duck on the consecutive deliveries. But let us just talk about this. The Australian top batsmen have been really struggling, but what Peter Siddle did yesterday was something really absolutely, I would say, very commendable effort, because Peter Siddle got one more 50. You know that Peter Siddle got a 50 in the first innings, and this is the first time in the annals of Test history that a number 9 batsman has gone on to get 2 50s in both the 2 50s in 2 innings. And Peter Siddle will proudly hold that record now, and he was the one, as I said, it really asked questions of this Australian team, because when your lower order like Mitchell Starc the other day made 99, Peter Siddle getting 2 50s, what's happening to the Australian batting lineup? So definitely there are a lot of questions asked about this Australian lineup now, and so Peter Siddle made 50 runs of 45 balls with 7 fours. Just he was a person who really took the attack to the bowlers, started hitting them over the top, and he tried his best and finally succeeded. He made 50 runs, but after that James Pattinson was clean bowled by Ishan Sharma for 11 with 1-4, and Ishan Sharma giving a send-off, and he has also been fined some match fee for doing that to James Pattinson. Netherlands was not out on 5. 164 all out Australia, thus setting India a target of 155 to win, which was done by India. Now looking at the Indian innings, India started off, it was not so easy with Glenn Maxwell making one record. Since 1929, there's no Australian bowler who has actually bowled the first ball and faced the first ball in batting. In fact, as you know, Glenn Maxwell opened and also bowled the first ball. He was given the ball, so Glenn Maxwell and Nathan Lyon were the ones who opened the proceedings for Australia. The first wicket to go was Murli Vijay. Murli Vijay was cleaned up by Maxwell. He actually tried to reverse sweep Maxwell, paid the penalty, was clean bowled for 11 of 12 balls with 2 fours. But as I said, it required, even though the 150 target also would have been very tough, because considering the vagaries of the pitch. And Cheteshwar Pujara got a very good partner in Virat Kohli, but Cheteshwar Pujara, let us just doff a hat, and I could very safely say here now that Cheteshwar Pujara is a perfect replacement for Rahul Dravid, because what he's shown on a very difficult pitch, in fact Cheteshwar Pujara contributed a very an unbeaten 82 but a winning 82 for his team here, because there was a brief sort of a real flutter for India, because India lost 3 wickets after the Virat Kohli and Murli Vijay actually took on the score to 123. It was a 104-run partnership. Before Virat Kohli was LBW bowled line for 41 with 4 fours. Tendulkar was LBW bowled line for 1, and Ajinkya Rahane on his debut disappointed. Caught line bowled Maxwell for 1, and so that made the score 128 for 4. It was only, there was not much runs to be scored, but still there was some pressure. But Cheteshwar Pujara really in a difficult pitch played some very good strikes. Also played the ramp shot, and he showed how he could. He showed that he was technically proficient enough to tackle any bowler on a difficult pitch, and that's what he precisely did. And this will go a long way for Cheteshwar Pujara. And Cheteshwar Pujara was not out on 82 with 11 fours. Mahendra Singh Dhoni was not out on 12, who hit the winning run. And India had the victory there on the third day itself, the match finishing on the third day, and India lifting the border Gavaskar trophy. So India winning the match by 6 wickets. Stupendous win for India, stupendous win in the series. And definitely when India went to Australia, they lost to Australia 4-0, and now they are really giving it back to the Australians. Nathan Lyon 2 for 71, Maxwell 2 for 54. The pace bowlers were just only 5 overs bowled between Mitchell Johnson and Pattinson. We didn't see Siddle at all. Pattinson none for 7 and 2 overs for 16 for Mitchell Johnson. The man of the match went to Ravindra Jadeja for his 5-wicket haul, and also in the first innings too he had taken 2 wickets, so he got the man of the match. And the man of the series went to Ravichandran Ashwin of India, who picked up lots of wickets in this particular series. Well, so I don't have much time, so I have to really wrap it up as far as the South Africa and Pakistan match is concerned. South Africa actually winning the one-day series 3-2, with Pakistan actually making 205 all-out batting first. No one was able to go to a big score. The highest score was Kamran Akmal, who made 48 of 51 balls with 6 fours and 1 6. Other than that, 29 of Yunus Khan's bat of 58 balls, 2 fours. We had a poor series in South Africa, I would say. Misbah Haq, the captain, contributing 24 of 46 balls with 2 fours, and Shoaib Malik making 28 of 31 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. 205 all-out Pakistan. As far as the bowling was concerned, McLaren 10 overs no maiden, 3 for 32. And as far as South Africa were concerned, for them it was AB de Villiers, the captain, who led the way by making a brilliant 95. He was not out on 95 of 111 balls with 9 fours and 1 6. Even though South Africa were in a spot of bother at 83 for 3, in fact AB de Villiers, the captain, decided to counterattack the Pakistani attack and collected 95 runs. He got support from Farhan Behardeen, who made 35 on a run-a-ball stuff of 36 balls with 3 fours. David Miller in the end was not out on 20, and that was victory was South Africa's. South Africa winning a very closely contested one-day series, winning the Momentum One-Day International Trophy, and also making it 3-2. 208 for 4 was South Africa. They won the match by 6 wickets. I'm not going to, as far as the bowling figures, 2 for 38 for Mohammad Irfan, and 1 apiece to Junaid Khan and Mohammad Hafiz. And player of the match went to AB de Villiers, and also the man of the series went to the South African captain, AB de Villiers. He was thoroughly deserved that. He had 3 50s and 1 century in this particular series. Now I move on to the New Zealand versus England match, which is very interestingly poised. In fact, England, this was on day 3. What precisely happened? We have only probably 1 or 2 hours left for proceedings to start at Eden Park in Auckland on the 4th day. But England, well, they're resuming at the 50 for 2. Today they were all out for 204. Splendid bowling from Tim Southee initially, who really rocked them with picking up 2 wickets. He had figures of 23.2 overs, 9 minutes, 44 runs and 3 wickets. He picked up the wickets first of Nick Compton, LBW bowled Southee for 13, and then he sent Ian Bell back to the pavilion, LBW for 17. But after that, it was all Trent Boult. Trent Boult really, I would say, he cut through these England innings like a knife through butter, and that's what he made. He really went through, and it was a splendid bowling from Trent Boult, returning figures of 25 overs, 9 minutes, 68 runs and 6 wickets. His first 5-wicket haul in Test cricket, and not only that, it was his best haul in Test cricket. But what was good about Trent Boult's bowling was one, he was really making the batsman really guess by getting the ball to go out. But his top ball was that in-swinger, which really had lots of wickets. He got a lot of wickets with that, and it was splendid bowling. He was angling the ball, he was getting the ball to slant across the batsman, and that's what precisely spelled the downfall for England. England are out for 200, all out for 204. In fact, Brendan McCullum, the New Zealand captain, did not enforce the follow-on, and so New Zealand had to bat again. And New Zealand batted, and they finished that close, but they were struggling, I would say. But really doesn't matter, because they are already in the overall lead. They are 274 runs ahead. Peter Fulton was not out on 14 at close of play. Dean Brownlee was keeping him company, not out on 13. They would be resuming the battle with England here on the 4th day. They lost the wickets of Hamish Rutherford, out for a duck. Kane Williamson was out for 1, and Ross Taylor was out, LBW ball brought for 3. But all in all, it looks to be a very interesting fourth day coming up here in Eden Park in Auckland. So 2 wickets for 7 runs for Broad, 1 for 11 for James Anderson. Well, because of shortage of time on this YouTube broadcast, I wouldn't be able to dwell much. I would have loved to, but I'm running short of time. So New Zealand would be renewing the battle with England, and for New Zealand, well, they would definitely like to put up a good score on the board, probably in excess of 450 or so, and then probably set England that target and try to bring them out. And this pitch is already showing some uneven bounce, and it's not going to be easy. So Brendan McCullum is by not enforcing the follow-on, he has ensured that England will be actually batting last on this pitch. So that will give him all the more chances to get that rare test victory against England for New Zealand. Well, one hopes we have a great game at Eden Park in Auckland here on the 4th day. With this, your host Ram is ending this cricket show for today. See you all tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye. Thank you.